Hello guys, welcome back to another tips video. This is the round 24 tips for 2026. And yet, this is the final round of the home and away season. The final zone is already locked in. Can you believe that? And there's some double headers for the AFLW clashes. Anyways, start off with Saints and Suns. 10 and 12 to 8 and 14. Last time they played each other was in round 9. And yeah. For the Saints, I went by 49 against Richmond. And for Gold Coast, they lost their 5th match of the season where they won the inside 50s count. Defensively, they have conceded 57 points from defensive half chain. The second most for the year. And yeah. For the Saints, Mitch Owens kicked 5. Max Hall had 161 AFL Fantasy, Hugh Poxtel 11 tackles, and Brad Hill 41 disposals. So yeah, anyways, I reckon St Kilda by 29 points. And yeah, we're moving on. Collingwood and Brisbane 12 and 8 and 2 to 15 and 7. Last time they played each other was in round 4. Pies drew the Hawks again, and Brisbane win another key clash against Gold Coast. For Collingwood, Rowan Steele kicked 2, Charlie West kicked 2, Will Hayes kicked 2, Stay kicked 2, Dacos 36 disposals, and Bo McCreary 12 tackles and 122 AFL Fantasy. And for Brisbane, Logan Morris kicked 4 goals, Will Ashcroft 31 disposals, and Levi had 117 AFL Fantasy and 8 tackles for Josh Dunkley and Jared Berry. So yeah, anyways, Brisbane by 8 points. And yeah, moving on, that's now Super Saturday time, beginning with Blues and Dockers. 19 and 3 to 11 and 10 and 1. Last time they played each other was in round 7. Back when Carlton were not good enough. And yeah. For the Blues, they've drawn against the Dogs as they locked in finals to eliminate St Kilda and Giants from the finals race. And for the Dockers, they are minor premiers in 2026 as they won by 24 points against the Crows. For Fremantle, Amos kicked 5 like he did against Melbourne, and Luke Jackson 9 tackles. For Carlton, Will Hayward kicked 3 goals, Paddy Cripps 34 disposals, George Hewitt 138 AFL Fantasy, and 8 tackles as well. So yeah, anyways, Fremantle by 18 points. And yeah, anyways, moving on. D's and the Dogs. 15 and 7 to 12 and 9 and 1. Last time they played each other was in round 11 when Harvey Langford dropped the mark a few seconds left in that game. Yeah. The Dogs have drawn against Carlton, and for the D's, they stay in the top 4 hunt by defeating Port by 76 points. They finally snapped their losing streak at the Adelaide Oval. Anyways, for the D's, Fritsch kicked 4, Chandler kicked 4, and Chandler also had 9 tackles and 119 AFL Fantasy, and also Joel Fitzgerald had 9 tackles. And for the Bulldogs, Matthew Kennedy had 8 tackles. Anyways, Demons by maybe 34 points. And yeah. Cats and Tigers. 14 and 8 to 3 and 19. Last time they played each other was in round 24 last year, and yeah. Cats stay alive in the top 4 to win by 15 points after being down by 39 points early in the second quarter against North. And Richmond, Dion Prestia and Nathan Broad have played their final game of AFL as they announced their retirement. Premiership player from 2017, 19 and 20. Had a good career, yep. For Richmond, not much to talk about, but Preston had 27 disposals in his last game, I reckon, yeah. And for Geelong, Bailey Smith had 34 disposals and won 16 AFL Fantasy. Anyways, Geelong by 62 points. And we're moving on to our last Super Saturday game is Adelaide and the Giants. 14 and 8 to 10 and 12. Last time we played each other was round 6 last year. Yeah, that score was pretty low, but yeah, whatever. Anyway, the Giants have defeated the Eagles, but no finals for them after the Bulldogs see Carlton draw. Callum Brown kicked 4 and Lockie Ashton 36 disposals and 136 AFL Fantasy. And for the Crows, whilst the Forever 24s are now 7th at the recording of this video. So yeah, Isaac Rankin to 39 disposals and 164 AFL Fantasy. Anyways, Adelaide by 25 points. And that wraps up Super Saturday. Now Sunday Ticket, Essendon and Port, 6 and 16 to 2 and 20. Last time they played each other was in round 2. And yeah, for Essendon, Vigo Vestini kicked his first goal in his 3rd game, even though he debuted like last year. And yeah, Port have lost by 76 to Melbourne. For Port, Ollie Lyons had 31 disposals and Mitch Georgiades kicked 4. And for Essendon, Dyson Sharp had 7 tackles and Vise Ewan had 7 tackles as well. Anyways, Port by 2 points. Yeah, moving on. Swans and North. 17 and 5 to 9 and 13. Last time they played each other was in round 9. And yeah, Swans lock in the top 2 spot as they win by 36 points. And for North, they led by 39 points early in the 2nd quarter and then they just lost by 15. So yeah. For North, Nick Larkey kicked 5 and Tristan Jerry had 11 tackles. And for Sydney, Kerner kicked 4, Errol Gordon 47 disposals and 147 AFL Fantasy, and Isaac Heaney had 7 tackles. Anyways, Sydney by 43 points. In our last games, the Eagles and Hawks, 14 and 6 and 2 to 4 and 18. Last time they played each other was in round 7 last year. Wow. Hawks have drawn against the Pies again, but unlike in round 8, the kick fell short on the siren as there was no score. For Hawthorn, Jack Gunston kicked 2, Mitch Lewis kicked 2, and Josh Ward kicked 2. And for West Coast, Jack Graham had 8 tackles. Anyways, Hawthorn by 75 points to end the home and away season. And these are our tips. Anyways, please make sure to join my tips comp. It will be in the link in the description down below if you want to join. Anyways, thanks for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe for more AFL tips videos.